Hey, hi, I am Rebecca Cook with Bella Pilates and Massage, and I'm going to do a total body workout today. These are very simple exercises that you can do at home with dumbbells. Some of the exercises we'll be doing, especially in the warm-up, will not require dumbbells. It's just body weight exercises. It's just warming up and moving. So you probably want 3 sets of dumbbells. You want a heavy, a medium, and a light. Whatever that might be for you, you might want to start out a little lower and just build your way up. It is important that we know that lifting heavy is good for our body, but you don't want to lift too heavy too quickly that you're causing any sort of injury for yourself. So make sure you consult with your doctor before starting any exercise program. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna just start with this simple moving forward and back with one leg. The other leg is planted. So we're just gonna go forward and back. Just like you're taking off to walk. 3. And yep, you don't have to think too much about form. We don't want our hips like hiking up each time we go. This is just kind of keeping them nice and level. There is a slight twist of your rib cage towards the opposite hip. And then let's reverse to the other side. So you can bring the legs back together and we go forward and back. Yep, just warming up. And whenever you're warming up, you can concentrate on your breath. 5, 6, 7, and 8, and come together. Now we're gonna do the same thing side to side. So it's just stepping, little bend, come back. These aren't big, deep squats. You certainly could do that, but we just wanna make this just a small warm up. We're just warming up those muscles. Again, we're trying to keep the hips fairly level, just warming up. You can kind of cross your opposite arm towards the opposite leg, giving that sense of rotation that we normally get in walking. Good. And that was about 8. We're going to do another set. And 2. And 3. This is all low impact today. After these, we're gonna move into some arm movements. Okay, so we're here. We're gonna have a slight bend in our knees and we're just gonna swing our arms. Bend, lift, bend, lift, bend, lift. When you bend, the arms are coming down. When you lift up straight, your arms are coming up. We are crossing the midline, which is good for our brain, for coordination, but just this little bounce is helping our lymph system. Movement through the armpits, movement in the hips and the knees. Let's come together. We're gonna take one arm back. Big, open arms. 2, 3, you can follow your fingers 4. Let's do the other side. And 1. I like to really stretch my fingertips. Mobility in that joint is what we're looking for. And then we're gonna reverse so we can stay on that same arm. Go the other way. 2, 3. If you have a shoulder injury and you can't lift your arm up that high, you can always do your range of motion. It might be that you're doing circles here, but you're working through a place where you're not feeling something that feels like sharp, acute pain. 4, good. Just swing your arms back and forth, crisscross them. All right. Now we're warmed up and we're ready to start lifting. So I want you to go with your heaviest weight. I'm gonna be lifting 10 pounds For you, it might be a little higher. It might be 12 or 15. You might go down to 8, but don't be afraid of weight. Okay, so we're gonna have our hands holding these dumbbells, and when we sit back, we're really trying to think of a nice straight line from our tailbone to the crown of our head. And we stand up. We sink back, and we stand up. Our breath is inhale, and exhale, push through the feet. Inhale, exhale, push through the feet. I want you to really pull navel to spine as you stand up so that we are contracting the core. A couple more. And the quadratus lumborum in the back. We're going to help support the spine as it comes up. Let's do 2 more actually. So we want to go with doing a weight where we're going to be doing anywhere from 6 to 10 reps, okay? We're building strength here. We're gonna go from there into some upper body work. So you're gonna take one of your dumbbells, the heavier one, and there's a couple ways you can do this. You can go into a lunge and put a hand on your thigh. I'll kind of do a couple angles here. Or if it's easier for you to actually put that leg up on a chair or your couch, we're gonna try to lean at a diagonal, and then we're gonna pull back for a row. We're just gonna go straight back today. 2, 3, again, because we're at a diagonal, we wanna still pull in with our core, especially on the exhale. Good, and we want to keep the head from just falling. We want to keep that all in alignment. 2 more. This is 10. And we're going to switch sides, okay? So at the same time, especially if you're down in that lunge position, you may be working your legs quite a bit too. Again, we find our balance on our other side. Our legs are in parallel if you can. And we're at that diagonal, pulling back. Try to keep the shoulder away from the ear. This is 7. Notice we're keeping it slow. And relax, come back up. So we do 10 on each side. From there, we're gonna come down to the floor. And I'm gonna try to angle the camera just a little bit more so you can see. Make sure it's not gonna fall over here. I can edit it out later. Okay, so I'm gonna take both of my dumbbells and I'm gonna come down to the floor. Okay, let's make sure you can see me. All right. So we have bent knee, our arms are out to the side, and we're gonna press up and together, okay? Down, up and together. Every time you exhale, just gently pull in that core. If you're using a weight that you can easily knock out 12, 20 reps, then you're not using a heavy enough weight. Good, 1 more, and relax down. So now I'm gonna come up and we're gonna repeat everything from the top, okay? So I'm gonna stand to my feet, go ahead and grab the dumbbells, and I'm going back to the squats, my first exercise. So we sit back and come up, and sit back and come up. And 3, and 4. every time I'm pulling navel to spine, I feel nice and strong. Lots of people will turn under their hips. Try to avoid that. Try to keep a nice long, natural curves of the spine. And last one. Good. I'm going to set one of these down, going right into my back rows. If you need to pause this video in order to have just a little rest in between these sets, that's fine. We're going to lean forward, pull back for 10. Think of pulling the underside of your elbow towards your hip a little bit, just so that the shoulders don't rise up towards your ears. We've got 2 more on this side. Remember, your foot can be up on a chair if that's easier, or a couch. You don't have to stay in that lunge. There's always modifications. Now lean forward on the other side. We have our nice long row. 1, 2. The biggest thing with this too is making sure you're not going too quick, especially on the way down. And last one. And now we're gonna come down to do our chest presses again. So I'm gonna grab my other dumbbell. Pause the video if you need a little rest. And we're gonna come down. Elbows are out to the side. Press up and together. 1, and back down. And 2. There are always ways to make this a little harder. You can squeeze your inner thighs together. You could separate the feet and go up into a bridge, squeezing the glutes. So if you're doing this workout again and you want to just add variety, you can think about those little nuances to add. Two more. And last one. All right. Like I said before, we are hitting most of our major muscle groups in this workout, but we are not going deep into a lot of detail. So we did 2 sets of that superset of squats, rows, and chest press. Now we're gonna go into shoulders, biceps, and triceps, okay? We're gonna be standing for all of this, so let me adjust the camera again so you can see. And we're gonna start by grabbing our light weights. So we're gonna start with some shoulder work, and I want you to remember that our shoulders are not on top. Here, these are neck muscles. Our shoulders, our deltoid, are here. We have anterior, middle, and rear. We're going to do circles with the arms. We don't want to lift above the shoulder. We want to keep it just slightly lower than that. Good. Nice and slow. Time under tension. You're nice and tall. Feeling those muscles work. If you start feeling it in the neck, you can bring it a little lower. It doesn't have to come as high. You're still going to be working those deltoids against the weight and gravity. Nice and even weight on both legs. We've got last one is 10. Okay, If you have a heavier weight and you can only do 6, you can only do 6. Take a little rest and then join us again when we're ready for the next exercise. Okay, I'm gonna grab 8 pounds for our biceps and triceps. But again, don't be afraid of weight. Don't be afraid to go up to those 10s if you need it. We're gonna start standing and we're gonna go one arm at a time into a curl. Notice that I am twisting my forearm so that my palm faces up towards my shoulder. I'm gonna turn to the side here. So I want my elbow to stay plugged in just slightly towards the front of my waist. I don't want it back here, and I'll show you why. If I keep it back here, notice my shoulder rolls forward, okay? So I want to keep that slightly forward. I am stabilizing with back muscles to keep the scapula down. Yeah. And we keep going there. You don't have to feel like you need to squeeze all the way to the shoulder. We want to go about 3/4 of the way up and then slow on the way down. 3/4 of the way up, slow on the way down. I've lost count already. So after this one, let's do about 4 more total. And 4. And 3. Good. 2. And last one. We're gonna go right into tricep kickbacks. So again, I'm gonna turn to the side. We're gonna come into a squat, and we wanna get that same diagonal that we had in our squats. We're gonna pull navel to spine, let the arms hang. Pull the elbows back, and then extend the bottom half of the arm. 2. Nice and slow on the way back. 5. 6. Pinkies are pointing towards the ceiling. 7. 8. 2 more. And last one. And that is your first set of all of that arm work. Because we are working all of these small muscles in the arms, we are going to give ourselves about 1.5 minutes rest. You can still move. You can walk in place, swing your arms. You just want to give those muscles just a little tiny rest to be ready for our final set. Okay? All right. We're going to start here in a minute. Just kind of kick out the legs as you need. This whole workout should take you about 20 to 30 minutes, I think. So not a super long workout. This is great to fit into a busy schedule. Okay, so we're gonna go back to those lighter weights, all right? And we went up and back last time. This time we're gonna go up and forward. So out to the side, forward, and lower down. Working those shoulders or those delts. 3, 4, nice and slow on the way down. 5, don't get the neck involved. 6, 7, 8, you can kind of keep them low if you need to. 9. And last one, 10. All right, we're moving into bicep curls. So grab your medium-sized weights, stand tall, and alternate with a twist. Remember to keep those elbows forward towards the front side of your waist, not towards the back side. And you're stabilizing that upper arm. You're not swinging that arm back and forth. It's staying relatively perpendicular to the ground. It might be a little bit more of an angle, but we're just not moving that upper arm. The rotation is coming from that forearm. There you go. We are about halfway there on these. I know it's a little slower when we're doing singles. You could absolutely speed this up by doing both at the same time if you were short on time, and then just go for it on the video. Start feeling that burn. Nice and slow on the way down. That's what we want. Little contraction in that bicep. Good. All right. Let's go ahead and come into our tricep work. Pull back, and we're going to kick back 1. Remember that head is in alignment with the spine and the back. We're not dropping the head forward. Shoulders are pulled away from the ears. Two more, nice and slow. Last one, and relax. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bonus exercise. Remember that during this, if you cannot get down to the floor, if you have anything, your bed, a couch, that's a little bit easier to get onto, maybe a massage table that you've bought for stretching, you can get down on that instead of the floor. Okay, I'm gonna angle this down again, and we're gonna do 1 ab exercise. This is opening up the thoracic spine at the same time as working the core and the rectus abdominis. So we're gonna place the ball right underneath our shoulder blades. Our knees are bent, and you wanna move them out as far as you're able to, so that you're not too tucked under and using your hip flexors. Hands are gonna float behind the head, or you can grab a long towel and just hold the towel here, letting your head really rest back into the towel, okay? We are going to lean back over the ball, keeping the chin tucked, and then we're going to use our upper abs, or top of our rectus abdominis, to lift us up. We inhale back, and we exhale, lift. The elbows should stay slightly forward of the head. We're not pulling up with the arms or pulling in with the elbows, but they're not trying to open up this way. We just want them relaxed. And we want the work to be coming from the abdominals. So, and we're gonna finish this one. You can do 8 to 12, and then we're gonna do a little pulse. 3 to finish off that burn. 5, 6, 7, last one, 8. You can sit all the way up and elongate the spine. Thank you for joining me for this workout. I hope you have time to do it several times a week and enjoy it as much as I did. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.